Hello and welcome to Fiber Trek. My name is Sarah. Welcome. You are most welcome on this creative journey here in the Northwoods of Maine. On this edition, I have a little recap of my trip to Rhinebeck and a cabin vlog. I will catch you up on my knitting and a few magical moments that we were able to capture on our trail camera. If you are a patron of this podcast or have donated through coffee, a deep heartfelt thank you. I so appreciate the financial investment. I'm so glad that you're all here. Let's catch up.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
This was my second time to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival in Rhinebeck, New York. I was really grateful that this time I had the touchstone of Patricia Tidal Yarn's booth to provide some purpose and structure around my experience at the festival. So I was able to help her set up on Friday, and then I worked the booth Saturday and part of Sunday before heading home. Many of you came to see me, and I was so deeply grateful for those heartfelt conversations. Many of you have been with me a long time, and we got a chance to reminisce about some important pieces of my life as well as yours. So many of you talked about Soulful Stash and discovering my podcast and vlog, and then going on your own journey with wool and place-based yarns and all of the wisdom that goes with understanding this medium. So thank you so much for making the effort on those days to come and seek me out and touch base and also share in the joy that is Patricia's wool and beautiful hand-dyed yarns. I got the footage, as you saw. I was really quite busy. I think documenting this type of festival is a real challenge, and then add on top of it wanting to enjoy it from a first, person perspective, like not with a camera, and then also be doing some work and also maybe wanting to do a little shopping for oneself. I did make it around the festival for a few hours on Sunday, and I found a few treasures. I did not pick up much yarn because I don't have a need for it, but I did get some Kalinka Malinka from Harrisville Designs in their Peace Fleece, and that is being shipped to me. I really love the way they had displayed their Peace Fleece colors, and you would fill out a sheet and submit it, and then they would pull it for you and you would check out. So that was really convenient. So Kalinka Malinka. I picked up some buttons from Hank and Lisa. of lisapeterart.com, and these were beautiful clay buttons with impressed flower motifs. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to round out the materials and textures of my knitting, and I feel like these festivals are a great place to do that. They also sold fish leather, which is very interesting. So yeah, I was super happy to find them. I picked up a set of size 6 circular needles from Indian Lake Artisans on the recommendation of Kate from Green Mountain Spinnery, and I got a 32-inch cable from them. These have a swivel head and they are hexagonal in their design, and I got them in the cherry. So I'm looking forward to practicing or experiencing these needles and seeing how they work and with the yarns that I work with. So that was another kind of luxury piece that I picked up. I went to Jenny Blue Pottery, which I have been talking about for a while and wanting to get to for a while, and I picked up a dishcloth and a couple bowls and a platter with a bear on it. She hand paints all of the motifs and designs, and yeah, her booth was really beautiful and inspiring. I also picked up some pottery from a Vermont potter whose name eludes me right now. And I kind of spied this owl bowl on my first day when before the gates opened. Patricia and I were walking around with a coffee, and I really thought about that, and I went back and picked it up on Sunday because it was still there. I could have gotten a lot more from her booth. It was just really beautiful, and I loved the design motifs of sheep and horses and animals and owls and birds, etc. at that booth. So that was really kind of the little pieces that struck my fancy that I indulged in while I was there, and had fun kind of seeking out some different artisans and yeah, creating a little collection with some pottery and ceramics. So yeah, that was really Rhinebeck. I kind of thrived on the intensity of discussions that happened on Saturday and Sunday, and helping people find wool and matching it to sweaters and what could I do with this, and so those conversations I find really invigorating, and I love to talk about wool and brainstorm about how it might look or colors that might go together. The sweaters that are designed for Tidal Yarns are really beautiful, and they're elegant and simple, so it really allows the sweaters to sing, and that was quite evident because a lot of people came in of looking at a particular sweater. I want to make that, I want this yarn. But I brought a few of my pieces. I bought the Kairuna shawl by Ronja Hakalito. I brought Tresta by Jennifer Steingass. And I brought with me, I thought there was a third one. Maybe it was just those two. So that also kind of expanded people's concepts about putting colors together if they were interested in more than one color. So yeah, so I really loved that aspect of the work. And it was very busy. Aside from the many people who came to say hello, I got a chance to connect with some vloggers that I also appreciate their work, their editing style, that they bring me inspiration and company as well. So that was a nice little perk. I did not get out and about at all on the Saturday, but those of you who came by or were walking by and I was able to grab you, Taylor of Taylor Owen, finally got a chance to meet her in person, and that was wonderful. I quickly said hello to Jen of Jen Geigley Knits. I got to have a nice long chat with Selma of Selma Knits and Mega of Skein of Dreams and Mel of Mel Makes Stuff. So that was really wonderful to have a little extra time. I got to see Corinne again. I got to see Jana of Kim and Jana and their podcast. And so Yeah, so it was nice to kind of be able to be in a position to thank others for the work they do in creating content for people like me who, you know, find themselves with a lot of knitting, making time on their hands in a relatively rural location. So I do lean kind of heavy into to those other makers and vloggers out there. But that was kind of Rhinebeck in a nutshell, and so deeply appreciative of the connections with all of you who came to see me or have supported me in some way so that I was able to get there to do this. Thank you so much. Those conversations, as I mentioned in the beginning, were very heartfelt and very meaningful and very encouraging and humbling. And those are two words I use a lot, but I'm very humbled by what you choose to share and that I get to be a part of that and your own creative expression in this lifetime. So yeah, we'll see what happens next year. In the meantime, I don't have anything else on the docket. I have a few things, a few responsibilities to my nieces and nephews that I need to not deal with, but I need to attend to. And then we have a holiday coming up, which is Thanksgiving. And then I'm kind of hoping things might settle down a little bit and I'll be commuting regularly and have regular time to kind of think about some projects that are in the works.
Straight cruising, headed for a bruising, watching out for number one. You gotta slow down and look around you, son. Today is just today and not tomorrow. Where you're going, rest your head. Where you're going, brightness looks big. Where you're going, truth cannot be hid. You gotta get going.
We are a far cry from where I was a week ago. If you follow along, and you saw the previous section, I was at New York Sheep and Wool in Rhinebeck, New York, and now I find myself in the North Woods up at our friend's cabin, and I wanted to take the opportunity to be outside because I really wanted to capture kind of the essence of the feeling here, and it's so beautiful. It's about, 38 degrees Fahrenheit, so appropriate for layering up, drinking hot drinks, and knitting. I'm probably going to be battling a little bit with the wind here and the distractedness of birds. We came up to the cabin for just a couple days to close up and enjoy some quiet. Before I start talking a little bit about what my knitting is up to and what I've been up to, I just want to thank my patrons and my coffee supporters. It is humbling and encouraging, and I know I always use those two terms. I feel like they really capture the sentiment. And that you choose to invest in this project and you find value, and you affirm that it is valuable to me. I just am so appreciative of that. It's the whole experience, as you heard in my Rhinebeck discussion, has been just so meaningful. And I have another hat that I wear in the public schools as a speech language pathologist, which I find a deep sense of purpose through, and I'm so grateful to find such a deep sense of purpose in this independent project, which is very much guided by my own creativity, and there's just a lot of freedom here. And so thank you. Thank you for supporting me, whether you do that through a financial investment contribution, or you are helping to create a little traction so other people can find it. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm feeling very blessed that way. So thank you. Rob and I came up to the cabin, and we just have a few days to spend. I know. You're like, look at the camera, but it's chickadees, I think, northern whoa. I was really hoping they were boreal chickadees, but they're not. They're just black-capped chickadees. So you kind of saw what I picked up at Rhinebeck, and I'm super excited about that sweater's worth of Kalinka Malinka that I got from Harrisville. They're shipping it to me. Their booth was really beautiful, as I mentioned, so that's coming. I continued to work on the Twisted Rib Cardigan by Deborah Priscilla from Tidal Yarns, and I am working on the Metropolitan Pullover by Tori Yu. And I am using for that pattern a Plotolopi strand and a strand of Gotland lace. Last time we chatted, I was a little bit worried about the marled effect that was coming through, and I've continued to knit on it, and I'm happy with the way that it's going. And I think even once I block it or I soak it, that Plotolopi might bloom up and fill in, and it may not have such a I use the word stark, but it is not a stark or contrast effect in terms of marling. So they're both in the kind of the same color, and it's just really their maybe their tone that differs. So you're getting a little bit like the eye is catching a little shadow and highlight. So I continue to work on that. I'm working my way down the raglan shaping, and yeah, I'm really finding that a satisfying knit because it's going so fast. I'm using a US 10. I'm going to do a cropped version, and yeah, so that one is going fast, and like I said, I'm finding it flying off the needles. The Twisted Rib Cardigan that I'm working on, I've extended the amount of ribbing. I really need to try it on and see where that's hitting me, because I was concerned that the sweater was too short in general, that where the ribbing at the bottom starts is a little bit higher than it is supposed to be because of my row gauge. So I'm gonna try that on and see what's happening. I don't think I'll rip it out, but I probably will give it a super hard block if I need to, just to maybe scooch that few inches, or well, hopefully not a few inches. So The twisted rib cardigan, the bottom is knit with a double strand of the title worsted. And so between the twisted rib and the double strand, I was just finding, I think I had spoken about, like, I was really thinking, oh, I can meet my deadline and wear it at Rhinebeck Sheep and Wool. Or New York Sheep and Wool. But once I kind of gave myself like, nope, that's not gonna happen, I've just gently been working on it as my hands allow. So that's kind of on the go. I brought the Yell with me, and I also brought with me the Hobbit vest by Thread and Yarns, maybe to do some quilting on. So that I brought with me as well. Let's see, I've been cooking. I've made some nice tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches for us, and we did a couple different walks yesterday to pick up our trail camera photo cards, and today we're going to be heading out for about a 6-mile romp with Ruby to pick up one of our trail cameras, which is just across the lake a little ways. So we've got a really beautiful, fun day in store, and it's going to be sunny and clear tonight, so I'll be getting my night lapse geared up for that. So as much as I've been traveling like 3 or 4 hours every week from my original destination, as much as that has been lots of forward momentum and not a lot of kind of taking stock and grounding moments, I have found this destination and a couple other havens along the way. And one of those was I got to spend an evening with a dear friend on my way to Rhinebeck, Sue Speak, and she and I both share a deep love for cold places, Iceland, Norway, and especially the sheep that inhabit that area. And she really found such a generous gift for me. And this is some local yarn with traceability from Scarpa. And I wanted to read to you the label. She found this in a shop, I think on the west coast of Iceland. This is Grishol. She was born in the spring of 2018 and is what we call a leading sheep. Her wool is soft like all leading sheep. She is not much for being around people and wants to have her own space. Her yarn is a beautiful dark gray. So yeah, so just a really special description and looking at how sheep work together, how different breeds work as flocks. Icelandic tend to be dispersal as one of their prey responses, and so they disperse. They don't tend to flock together. They do have lead sheep as described that kind of make decisions about where they're going to go. They tend to be looking out forward. So anyway, just a really lovely story and something to hold on to. I'm so excited to have this really special yarn, really place-based, soulful stash. I got the 2 grays, a beautiful cream, and a light gray. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably put it somewhere where I can see it every day and admire it for now. So thank you so much. And yeah, if you find yourself in Iceland, keep your eye out for this Scarpa. So that was such a nice opportunity to visit with Sue and talk all things yarn. And then of course I made my way here after work on Friday, and as I said, we are getting out and about and enjoying some home-cooked meals and coziness by the fire. And then it'll be back to work tomorrow, which is Monday, and I'll be heading south. This month I am going to be helping my mom babysit the children for about 5 days, getting them off to school evenings. That is my nieces and nephew. They are 11, 9, and just about 2. Annie will be 2 in February. So that'll be busy. And yeah. I have some quilts that I really want to work on. Cameron's quilt is finished, and that should be going off to the long armor. And then I've started working on a quilt for Annie, so I'll be looking forward to getting that going. And I'll just be looking forward to having some long time at home. potentially over our break here for Thanksgiving. So that's a little look at what's going to be happening forthcoming for the month of November, and I have a few fun plans for December to share with you. I won't be doing a turning of the year this year because I have made plans to do something else, and I'm not sure that my editing I can keep up with that delivery. But there will be, I hope, 2 videos for you, and if you are a patron, bonus 3rd. So I'll almost hit that goal or hit that mark. On that note, I'm going to bid you a fond farewell, many fond wishes and blessings. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye.